Hey, amazing people. How are you guys? Hoping that you all can hear me. If you can, let me know. If not, you will just let me know. Hi, how are you? Welcome on in. Oh my goodness. Listen, there's so much going on. And I'm just out here talking my head off and hoping that you all can hear me. We're going to have to check this because we've got some new things going on. Hey, everybody, it's Sharon, RN2CEO. Yes. How have you all been? I've liked doing the. Okay, it's working. It's working. It's working. We're there. I know it's been a while that I've done a video. Hold a second there. Yeah, I'm so enjoying doing the videos. Just like how I would do radio, but of course, sometimes I got to come on camera. I was getting back into the phase of the space of just being heard and not seen. There's just something incredible about that. But welcome on in. And so we're going to talk about some moments. We're wrapping up at the time of this recording towards the end of the year and amazing things that we've seen on television right here on YouTube. And so if you can hear me loud and clear, drop a heart or something and just say hello. Let me know that you're here and I'll give you a shout out. And I want to talk about a few things. And yeah, I have a little bit about Colaz Smith TV. Yes. Obsessed with that whole show. The whole show. Okay, guys. The one of the episodes, a couple of them. I like when I watch his show, I'm on the treadmill. So I can watch it on the big screen television and I feel like I'm driving through Jamaica. If you don't know who he is, Cola Smith TV, doing some amazing work. And it's, just the whole crew, the things that they do, how they take us on the journey, especially when they're driving through Jamaica. And since all of that happened, with the hurricane and so forth, we've just been watching the work that he has been doing, he and his team, and I'm really inspired by that and thankful and grateful that his family is there to support him because it's not easy doing any kind of work. Sometimes we'll say it's a being a missionary, just doing work that you're called to do, and it may not be the thing that would, that's for everybody. Hi, Alice. Thank you for being here. Hi, thank you for showing up. Thank you. And sometimes when you're calling, when you're called to do something, when you're called to do something, sometimes people may not understand it. They may not understand why you do what you do. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that because it's really important. Oh, when you guys come in, don't forget to give a thumbs up if you haven't done that so far. Feel free to do that. So we're going to talk about incredible moments on camera because a lot of people do things and it's not caught on camera, but sometimes when it does, it can become a viral moment. And I'm one of those people, I don't want when I'm doing the wrong thing, it shows up on camera. And that has happened to a lot of people, when things just happened. And rightfully so, some of those things need to be caught on camera because some of the things that we've been seeing a little bit too, we're going to talk about healthcare and some of the things that has been happening here within the states where I am, the United States, right? There are things that happened and it's not cool. It has affected a lot of people, and one of them I spoke, you can go back a couple of my lives, and most of the times you can catch me on live when we were talking about unheard pain, meaning that our certain segment of people is it that they're not being heard and that their pain is being ignored, and that has happened and we've seen it happening over and over again, and we saw that within a space of just weeks, not even weeks, days. where pregnant moms somehow are being treated a little bit different, a whole lot different, and that has been a cause of concern, and so that we have to look out for each other. Hey, Regina, thank you so much for stopping in. Yeah, we have to look in for each other, look out for each other. And so, yeah, sometimes you'll have moments that will be caught on camera and you don't want them to. They used to call it candid camera. Who remember that show back in the day, way back in the day before a lot of you all were born? Oh my God, I'm dating myself. But it was called You're on Candid Camera, that you didn't know that you were on camera, right? And so we see some of these things that are happening. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Colaz Smith. Colaz Smith doing that work in Jamaica. Very proud of him and the crew, his team. Yeah. But we also saw where he tried to get crowd control again. He tried it with crowd control, and I don't think it was that big of a crowd. I think it's when he went up into Trelawney. Trelawney, yes, he was in Trelawney, and I don't think it was that big of a crowd. It was a tight shot, so it looked like it was much more, but it was a lot of people over the period of time. So I'm not going to take that away from him. Over the period of time that they were giving out those bags, right, and people were just showing up, and they were just excited to be there. That somebody was looking out for them. And that's the thing, guys, that people want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to know that they do matter. And so when somebody shows up for you, when somebody shows up for you, it's a big deal. And so people might have gotten a little bit excited, and that's okay, because hey, somebody thought of us, so we do matter. The people are saying like, oh my God, you came looking for us. He went up into the hills. I'm not saying other people aren't doing that, because a lot of people are, but I was on the treadmill an hour and something. I think, was it an hour and 45, hour and 20? Usually his videos over that. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be here on the bike. I'm gonna do my thing. By the time I'm done, guys, it's like 4 miles. I'm not walking that fast, but I was able to take it all in. And I started to think about it. Here, this was caught on camera. Have you ever had somebody showed up for you and it was just one of the most amazing things just being there? Or or you showed up for your kid at school or something, or you showed up for someone and it was such gratitude. And yes, they might have been excited. And sometimes people just, they express themselves a little bit different. And these folks were happy to see him, that somebody is here for us. Yeah, I'm going to say it over and over like a broken record. And you know what? It's okay. It's a form of gratitude. It's a form of excitement just to know. It's like being a kid at Christmas and you get a gift. You weren't expecting it. And so yeah, folks were going to show up and folks got, excited again. But I didn't think it was that bad. And towards the end, like I said, I just love how he drove from Portland into Trelawney and just taking us on that journey. Man, if I ever meet him, I'm gonna say, man, Mr. Colas, you and your team, if you only know what you guys do for us, just to see Jamaica again, just to see parts of it, the green is coming back, the leaves are coming back. Even when you see a little bit of that, it's just something else. And I can't imagine for somebody that's there now. And for you guys are wondering, what am I talking about? Yes, we know by now. And if you don't know, a Category 5 hit Jamaica, I think towards the end of October of 2005 at that time. Yes. And devastated, one of the strongest in the region that I've never heard. Well, it was a Category 5. Okay. And I think the hardest Jamaica ever experienced was Category 3. And I remember 1988. I wasn't in Jamaica, but I remember going back to Jamaica a month after, and that was Gilbert back in 1988. Some people are like, I wasn't even born yet. Yeah, so they've had hurricanes and so forth. But this was a Category 5 that really just caused a lot of damage. And the thing about it is just to see how resilient people are, the bounce back, right? The bounce back from all of it. And so, yes, some of that stuff was caught on camera. Some of the um, the devastation, the loss, people being homeless or displaced, right? All of that was caught on camera. And so we look at those moments when we're saying that, incredible moments caught on camera. And people just wanted us to know, like, hey, this is what we're going through, are the YouTubers, but to also see goodness and to see grace and to see kindness, to see other people going into the region and supporting, that to me is a big deal. So big up yourself on that, Colas. Big up to you and the team, and to the people themselves who were just they were grateful, very nice people. So Trelawney, hope to see you guys again real soon. We did a medical mission some years ago, and I can't remember the place, but it was a little clinic. It was like on top of a hill in Trelawney. So that was nice. I'm looking forward to going back. Guys, give me a second here. Give me a second. Let me see. I need to get some tea. Who's gonna be the one that's gonna get me some tea? I need some tea. This is when we have our chat, everybody. This is when we have our chat. So yeah, we also spoke about healthcare. And let's talk about that because there's a few things we're going to chat about. We talk about healthcare and how um, a lot of people are feeling as if, in this case, that they don't matter. They're not seen, and they're not being heard. So you can go back and look for my live when I spoke about unheard pain, and that when I said healthcare is in big trouble, and um, we should be concerned about it, right? Because some people say, "Oh, it's not me. It's not me and my family. We're good. My urgy center or my pediatrician or my doctor or my OBGYN, they're cool, and so I don't have to worry about that." But God forbid if you have to travel. Like in the case of one of these ladies, is a pregnant woman who had to. She was traveling, and from what I'm understanding, was 2 weeks before her due date, and so a baby can come 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. This was maybe her third or fourth child, and went to the hospital after being observed and checked by the nurse, as we are told that she was not dilated enough, so that she should go. But obviously, she was in a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and according to reports, she went into labor 8 minutes after. And so that's one of the things too that was caught on camera. Someone was right there. Somebody was right there with their camera, videotaping the whole interaction, videotaping exactly what was going on. And like, oh my goodness. And so that's why we're able to see it. And so something really needs to be done when you see things like this happening. So you may think it's not happening to you, and you may think that, oh, it's not happening in my region. But one of these ladies so happened to have been traveling. So that's why I'm saying you may think you're in the clear. And so that's why we should all be concerned. Could it have been policy? Could it have been protocol? Could it have been personal? Was it that she was treated different because she was of a different ethnicity, whatever it was? Or maybe that was just how they did things there. Like, this is not happening. So you can go back and come. All of these things. There's so many questions, unanswered questions, I should say. And I think one of the hospitals they made a statement that they are going to investigate all of it. And I think a few people lost their jobs. And I guess they're going to have to look at that too. What is it? cultural sensitivity also. Because I'm going to tell you this, when it comes to pain, for somebody who's worked in the healthcare field for quite a while, there are different people who express pain in a different way. Michibu, how are you? Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. There are different, especially people who work in the healthcare field. There are different people who express themselves differently when it comes to pain. So there's some folks who are more vocal than others. And we're taught this early in nursing, guys. A little bit of the cultural sensitivity. We're taught this because there's some people who are more stoic. They'll be in a lot of pain. And somebody will say, well, how do you know they're in pain? Sometimes their vital signs could tell you. Or it's just that they won't, they don't even want to tell you that they're in pain. And so there are times that there are patients that you have to go to them and you have to keep assessing them. You have to keep asking that it's okay. If there's something you need for pain, you're in pain, you're in discomfort, that it's okay. And so quite often you have to check in with your patients, and after a pain med has been administered, you do have time when you have to go back and reassess. Okay. So you can't always assume that someone is not in pain because they're not yelling and screaming, right? And then there are those who are very vocal and they're in pain. And so one of the things that I learned many years ago, Allison, hey, we're talking about healthcare. I'm still talking about Colaz because I was watching him in Trelawney, and that was good. The people them still come out for see and get them bag of things, my dear. Right? And now we're just talking about some things that are caught on camera. And this is one of the things I want to say, Allison. Sometimes we'll think that it's okay, you know, we're okay with our doctors or OBGYN or pediatricians or, internal medicine or dentist, da 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 da. And I'm okay. I don't have any problems. But God forbid you have to travel somewhere, even within these United of our states here, right? You're traveling somewhere and boom, you need health care. You need health care, and then you're treated differently because some people don't think that it matters that, oh, other people, that's other people, but my doctor treats me nicely, my doctor does this. God forbid you go to another state, and like what happened to that lady, right? One of them who gave birth, she was, the way that they were treated was just, it was so wrong. It was just, i, I don't even have the words for it. Okay, leaving the hospital and 8 minutes later giving birth. And so I'm saying people want to be seen, they want to be heard and know that they matter. And so one of them I spoke about unheard pain, because people may think that this is the stuff. Listen, I can talk about the stuff. I may not get the views. It's okay. But there's something that I'm going to say that could probably make a difference in your life and somebody's life. So I'll keep doing what I do here. Okay. And there are other people that are getting the word out. So that's the good thing. That's the good thing about it, that yeah, we all should care. Yes, we all should care. you know we all should care. So that's one of the things that I want to say. Who's that? Nick? Okay, Nick, listen, Nick, I am just not, hold on there, Nick. Okay, I just set you straight there. I just set you straight. I just set you straight there, Nick. Stop playing. All right. So that's one of the things that we really we wanted to talk about, some of the things that's caught on camera. And does it really matter? Does it matter how we treat people? And listen, people walking around with their cameras, they're everywhere with their cameras. They're everywhere with their camera. And that's one of the things too. That, I mean, it's hard. Sometimes you're in your place of business and somebody may have a camera on you. Now their glasses could be a camera. Or you'll ask them, could you please not record me. And but in a case like what we saw, in a case like that, I say that it was, it was okay. Not that not that it's okay, but I'm just saying that at least we saw what happened. We saw what took place. So it's going to make you think about it. It's going to make you think about, am I going to be treated differently because, somebody may think that I'm not feeling pain? What I started to say that some years ago in one of my nursing courses, a couple of decades, right? But I still remember. And whenever the patient tells you in pain, if you say from 0 to 10, 10 being the most, what is your pain? Should you believe that patient? Allison Mapp said, yes, it's so true. How you treat people is important. Very true. I want to believe it was Friday. My student up and I look at her Ray-Bans and I realize her Ray-Bans actually can record. Yes, people are recording people. They're doing voice activation. They're doing all sorts of stuff. So all sorts of stuff are happening. Yes. And that's why documentation too is important, because if something were to happen to a patient, a child or something, you're like, oh, it's just a little bruise, it's nothing, they just bruised their knee. But the protocol for that facility is that you document it, and you chose not to document it because it was just a little bruise. Then they go home and it's a whole nother story. So yes, there are protocols. Yes, there are people who are recording things. Not everybody is looking out there to get someone. They're not out there. They're not looking to get you or put you in trouble. They're not looking to do that, I would hope. But then there are those who do, right? So there are times that it's like you're trying to be on your P's and your Q's. And anybody can have a bad day. And I'm not even talking about what happened right now with these patients in the hospital, because it was documented. We saw what happened. We saw what we saw, what we saw. And some of it is in, I guess, litigation, not litigation, but I know one of the families have an attorney, and the families are saying that they would like to see things change. They would like to see that what happened to them doesn't happen to anyone else. So yeah, guys, it does happen. Listen, if you've gotten this far, you can give a thumbs up. Thank you. If you haven't done that already, really appreciate it if you do, because it's a good thing. The numbers here not reflecting what I'm seeing, so I know something is a little bit off, but it's all good. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, you can become a member of our channel if you so wish. And I really appreciate you guys watching and me just giving you a little bit of what's been going on in the news, right? I feel like I'm on CNN. Can you see me with my microphone here? Like Larry King. Remember Larry King? But yeah, guys, so that's one of the things too, the recording. People will say, well, you don't have my permission to record me. And that's why I want to keep, and that's why I'm saying, I got to keep my cameras and my batteries up to par, because if anything, but the way now, even with AI and all the other stuff, you don't even know what's real anymore. We're becoming so desensitized that I see stuff now and I just scroll past it because I don't know if it's AI. I saw something, these moments caught on camera, and I don't know how true it is, but I saw this thing on Instagram. I need to get a life. Why am I scrolling on Instagram? But it so happened I was scrolling on Instagram, and out of the ceiling, I guess a bride was making her entrance. She was making her entrance, and the next thing she fell, pop, and everybody was still there standing and videotaping. I'm like, it's obviously AI. But everybody else was like, oh my God, she got 2 feet. Why did she try to come out of the roof? Why did she, in her wedding gown and everything, coming down and boof, splat, right? And I'm like, it's AI. But people were commenting, and then I said, let me look and see if anybody really believe this is for real. And a lot of people thought it was for real. I read my like three, four, five of them, and then I just went on my merry way. So sometimes too, you don't even know what's real because AI can can do you say duplicate, copy things, can oh my God, I don't even know what you call it anymore. But AI can just make it look as if it's really real and put you in places and spaces and situations. So you don't know even know what's real anymore. And so we become so desensitized. We see all of this stuff and we no longer believe it. Because even the lady who had given birth to the baby in the car, when I first saw it, there were people who were, I was like, is this for real? But we saw them wheeling her out of the hospital. And then the next thing they showed when she had the baby. But again, people were like, was this real? So we are being constantly bombarded. We're being flooded with so many different things that we don't know if something is for real. And because maybe that's happening, people don't even know how to react or what to say. There's a saying that states, right? If you don't have anything good to say, just don't say anything. But right now, people are just saying, oh, it's not real. Oh, was that really real? Did that really happen? And yes, it happened. And how is it we've gotten to the place in the space where we are not even, we're not even sure of what we're seeing. Is it real? Right? Allison said, it happened to me. I was actually at the flea market and this lady had a boutique inside and I showed her something. She was like, no, hope you're not recording. Oh, you had some, oh my God, you were in her boutique. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah. And some people will tell you that. And even here, that's something too. You do need to ask people their permission. And even when I go out and I record, uh, I do ask people and I keep it. I actually I actually keep the voice recording with them giving me the authorization to record them. Or sometimes I've had people who will tell me, yeah, I've had people who will tell me that, oh, and sometimes I just do make it part of what I'm doing. And you guys, if you've ever watched any of my videos in the islands, and I'm not about exploiting nobody or anything, but sometimes people say in Caribbean, they say, give me a picture. Give me a picture. Give me a picture. That means take a picture, all right? Or they'll tell you, no, video me. Don't video them, right? Or they will say, no, man, it's okay. And so sometimes while I'm talking to them, hey, you want to be in my camera? Listen, I'm a YouTuber. If you're going to be, if you come in the camera, it's a possibility you're going to be on camera. You're going to be on my, and they're like, yeah, man, no problem. Yeah, man. So that happens. Market Mark Westfall. It's been a minute. Hi, Mark. How are you? How are you? Yay. Good to see you. And that's the thing. So that's another thing too about content creators and being in places and spaces where people don't want to be in your camera. And there are other things that you can do to let people know in that area that, hey, we're film, we're just taking some footage here. And just in case you're caught, you gotta have the signage where they can where that's where that's visible. So yeah, some people don't want you and they don't want to be up in your camera. No. And my family's like that. They don't want me shoving a camera in their face at all times. So that's why I kind of keep that. This is my hobby. It's my thing. and I love doing it. And so it is what it is. But yeah, you have to be mindful. You also have to be mindful of the music, things caught on camera, music. And if YouTube hears it, they're going to go, they might strike you for that, right? Or let you know there's a copyright or something. And sometimes people think that if they sing a song that they won't get caught. I've heard that from just singing a song. So anyway, I can't hold a tune, so I don't know how they would even figure out the song. Maybe it's the words or something. So a lot of things can be caught. The audio. So it may not be the video, but the audio can be caught on, during your recording, and you have to decide. If not, YouTube will tell you. You go in the back end, it will tell you what you need to do. Either you're going to share this, you're going to be a part of it, or you're going to cut it out. Okay. So those are some of the things to be mindful of. Also, when you get footage that it might have been music or other people are talking, I say use that footage and just do the voiceover. Because Allison, I know you do that sometimes. You do your videos, and you could do a voiceover, right? You can just use it as a B-roll. So you could use that at B as in boy. Use it as a B-roll so you don't lose any of that. So yeah, a lot of things can be caught on camera. Yes, I've been there. Yeah, yeah, you've been to the place when that happens. Like, oh my gosh, I was having. And if you notice when you go into certain coffee shops, like Starbucks or some of those places, and you would just love to sit there and do a video and chat, or Panera Bread or one of those places, but they purposely pipe that music in. Have you ever thought about it? Like, man, this would be nice for me to do one of my videos or something. And the next thing you know, there's music in there, so you can't do it. There's a reason for that. People go to these places just to either be on their computer, to have lunch or dinner with a friend. And so they don't need us sitting behind them. Well, YouTube, how's it going, YouTube? Hey. So some places, or if you're outdoors in a cafe, you can do that. When I was in Japan, if you guys noticed, I was actually sitting outside of the hotel because I know I needed to get those hours in. And one of the things I would say to people who are just so worried, what I learned from that is that pop up and do your show anytime you want. I was in a different time zone, and I started getting a lot of Japanese people on my lives. Yes, I actually hate to do voiceovers, but I realize if I don't want to have to do a voiceover, I have to go into the store early in the morning. Oh, because they usually don't have music. Oh, okay. Which one? The Starbucks? I didn't know that. But most of them do. But the voiceovers are good because I've listened to you. I've seen when you've gone shopping, you're going through the store, and that's good. And guys, what I'm finding about YouTube, why I like to do my shows that you guys don't even have to look at me, make fun of my glasses, my hair, my neck, my back, and all of that stuff. I just want to do it like a podcast, because if you're filming for YouTube, but also the audio side of things, because my background is in radio. So for me to even be on camera, sometimes I don't want to be on camera. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts that they are doing the podcast, yet also the audio it's for the podcast, right? So let me try this and see how it will work, because I've done this before, where I've given, I've done that. And let me see. So maybe we can just do more than one thing. We can do more than one thing with okay, I'll get that in a moment. So maybe we can do more than one thing, right, Allison? Allison was saying, I don't like to do voiceovers, but I am listening while I'm driving. And so yesterday I drove, and each way was an hour and 50 minutes, call it 2 hours each way. And I listened each way to a very long podcast. And it was pretty much the whole way. And I enjoyed it so much. So sometimes, too, don't worry about, oh, people are not watching. A lot of people like myself, if I'm driving, I love to listen. I love a road trip. I just find ways just to go somewhere. So continue doing your shows and don't get so caught up that people can't see it. Sometimes we come back and we look, but if I'm driving, I'm just plugging in, I'm letting all the ads run, and I'm driving this long drive, but it's so good for my brain, right? It's so good for me. So yeah, we could do two things all at once. And one of my things that I haven't done in a while, I'm gonna see how this goes because they made a lot of changes. Oh my goodness. So, Allison, are you thinking about just doing your live or turn it into a podcast? What are you thinking about? Some people are on TikTok, some, open house chat. Let's see. Let me see. Let me just drop a link here. See how that works. Okay. Okay. So okay. Okay. I had no idea. I'm just trying this. I don't want to lose you guys that's here. But tell me, you just want to do, let's see, just maybe lives. I like lives actually. You know why I kept doing lives, guys? Did you know the story about that? Let's see how this work. Let's see how this work. Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. Hello to you. It's been a minute. It is Sharon, RN2CEO. And I am going to tell you this much. I am excited to be here. It has been a minute, it has been a while. And for me, seeing all of the changes, I am excited to be here. So, guys, let me tell you something. Pause. Now, I'm on another app. I just paused it. So, killing two birds with one stone. So, let's see what's going on. So, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for showing up. And it's been a while, guys. It has been a while. And I wanted people to come on over and see what else is going on. What's the story? I noticed that regular long forms don't get much views. All right. So when I first came on to this platform, my thing was just to do the videos, just leave them and go. So I would not have met amazing people like yourself had I done it the way that I originally wanted to. Had I done it originally, so I would not have met a lot of you guys. I was just going to edit and load my videos. But then something happened. My computers, along with the external hard drive, I messed up the external hard drive. How do you mess up external hard drive? I didn't have all the space. And then I ran out of space when it came to the editing. And I'm like, I have two Macs. They can't even add up to make one. I just recently found out one might have been a little bit bigger than the other, but they have the same amount of space. And having the same amount of space, it was the same computer. So I ran out of that. So I'm not editing. And so when people who are looking to get their hours, to get their watch hours, I knew that June, July, August, especially July, August, that's when I had the most and a lot of my videos. So people are just looking at the year. Oh, they started in November. My thing was November, but I noticed where I had the most views, and it was in July, August. And I knew the 365 they were going to fall off had I not get all the the watch hours, get them all together. And that's what happened. So every 365 after 365 days, they started falling off. So those videos that maybe had 1,000, some, I think one of them maybe 2,000, the views, the watch time, I started losing all of those because I just didn't hustle like I should have. Right. And then it just made me just, so what I was a little bit frustrated. I said, I can't even be bothered with this thing. So remember all of us when we were trying to get those hours. So that's why people are saying, why am I not look at when, that's how I looked at it. So instead of me looking at November wasn't going to be my issue. I knew that I really started in 2024, started uploaded after a return back from Dominica. I started to play those videos, and then also they had the Summer Olympics, and so that's where I was getting my views on those videos. So I knew that it was going to fall off, and so by the time I went to Japan, that was August. I was in Jamaica in June, so I only had July, and then there were so many things happening that I wasn't even focusing on YouTube. So guys, for those of you who are trying to get those watch hours, I'm just grateful that so many people encourage me to keep doing my lives. Yeah, so I just started doing the lives, and if I'm here, I'm here. Now, the thing is it every 365 you need to get those 4,000 watch hours? So we can't really get to, I'm just trying to figure it out. When does it start again? Because when they snuck it in and I noticed that, I'm monetized again because I was partially monetized. They did something. I didn't give them all the paperwork. And they were like, listen, we'll get your attention. And they pulled what they needed to. And the next thing I know, that's what happened. They pulled it. And I was like, all right, I'll send you all that stuff. Okay, I'll look out for what I'm getting because I thought I didn't get the paperwork. So all of those things, they happen. So I tell people go live random hours. Because guess what? We keep worrying about the same 12 or 15 people. Stop worrying about the same 12 or 15 people, whether they're going to. I had people from different parts of the world, people that I've never met, I don't know, and they sometimes they'll come on and they'll watch and they'll give you some watch time. So instead of just being fixated that, I'm not being supported, I'm not being supported, that's not the case. I stopped worrying about that. You guys sometimes didn't know it was like 1 o'clock in the morning where I was. And I'm just like, you sit over there, I'll sit right here. And I just did what I needed to do. And I just did the hours. I just kept doing them until one day I looked at, because I said, I'm not even looking anymore. I had enough. And it popped up. I was thinking the same thing. Those hours that I got with Restream will fall off in the spring. So I need to push that, the content lives. So for you, Allison, and thank you for hanging out with me, Allison Map, go check her out. She does lunch with Allison. Allison, I want to know, are you going to bring a lunch after Thanksgiving? Are you going to have leftover? Because we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. We would have leftover turkey with rice and peas, right? And then turkey, you cook it up and you brown stew it. Turkey, you make a turkey sandwich. Turkey, you can make a turkey salad. Turkey, you can make a turkey soup. You can do all sorts of things with that turkey. Oh my God. So some people will bring turkey, they will bring lunch. So yes, they're going live all hours. Yes, go live all hours. So that's the thing now. So my question is this, Allison. Do we have to get the 4,000 hours again every 365? Some say yay, some say nay, in order to stay monetized. Because I don't think they're just out here giving free money. I think they want folks to do the work. I really believe they want folks to do the work. So that's why you hope not. That's why I miss Nitya, because I know she's busy. She's there working, but she is one person. Lyrics by Nitya. Lydia will go to YouTube and ask them a question in a minute. I was like, Lydia, how do you do that? She was like, you go in, you pop up, this will drop down, and you ask them all the questions. And so she would ask all the questions. Um, yeah, yeah, she would ask all the questions, and I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. And then it depends on who's answering the questions. It depends on who's answering the question. I hear both, just like you. So you're hearing both because we're thinking that we don't have to, we don't have to show up and just come on here every now and then. But no. So there's some things that I'm thinking about, moving into the new year. I think it's about being intentional about what we want to do with our channel because I really like this. Like I said, I love the radio version where you don't have to see me, it's just audio. I don't mind doing that. And I know I come on a little bit late because there's some people, even myself, I'm trying to get these 8 hours of sleep. Because some of the things that I've decided to do is to change my diet. I'm on that. I'm going to do a whole video about it. The one meal a day, the OMAD. Yes, I've been doing that. Why? Because I actually feel so much better doing that one meal. And why I chose to do that. Allison's going to say, yeah, what's the story behind that, Miss Sharon? The one meal a day for me, the intermittent fasting, I like it. I saw this lady and she was like, hi, I'm so and so, and I only eat one meal a day. Let me show you what I'm going to eat. I think she's called the OMAD Queen. She's real cute lady, and she was like, yeah. And so I just eat it, and then she has this board. Cute, I don't know how you guys pronounce that word. The board that you can have cheese and all that stuff, charcuterie board or something like that, right? So she eats from that, and it's beautiful. The first time I saw it, I said, "Whoa!" She ate a whole fish, including the head. She had a whole fish that it looks like. Oh, I eat technically one meal a day, but it's not a great news. Okay, not a healthy mix. All right, so my sister-in-law, she eats. There's some people who eat twice per day, but they break their fast at about 1 o'clock, and then dinner may be four. So by 6 p.m. they've already eaten. For me, it depends on how my day is going to go. And the majority of the times, I can do the one meal a day. But the OMAD lady, the OMAD queen, I've seen her and she was like, just do what she says, eat something, eat one meal a day, and love Jesus or something like that. She's just, and stay fabulous. Eat one meal a day, stay fabulous, love Jesus, and stay fabulous. And I'm like, oh, look at her. And so she had this big fish right on the board, and then she had some vegetables and some broccoli or whatever, and vegetables, roasted vegetables, and it looked so good. I was like, wow. And she had her, and she said, I'm about to have my one meal a day. And she ate it and she just dropped the spoon. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Because sometimes when I do the fasting 3 days out of the week, out of the month, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then break it after that, that's not so difficult. But what I noticed with it, my body would feel better. And so when I have time, right around 4:30 or something, I can create my meal. And I eat it on a real plate. So some of my members, they get to see it in my membership. I've been showing it to them. Put it on a real plate, and it's how you decide to eat. Yeah, you can. Yes, so just have your you can eat your two meals, but it's the types of food and how you're going to eat the food. So always have some fiber with it. So some a little salad, make a little salad or something. So some people say you get the roughage, the salad. You can have drink, some some people do apple cider vinegar and all of that stuff before. I'm just going to have what I want. If I have some warm water with my lemon in it, if I have a little soup before, because Caribbean people, we don't care if it's 100 degrees outside. We want something hot. We want hot tea, hot soup, and everything is tea. Fish tea, soup, everything is tea. So we want something warm. So whatever before you have your meal, and then that meal, you want to start off with the fiber, not with the carbs first, because the carb is going to spike the blood sugar, right? Not medical advice, but I'm also going to tell you, it'll spike my blood sugar, and then I get the itis right then and there. So I'll be eating and sleeping, right? We don't want that. So learning how to eat that food that's on your plate, starting off with the fiber first, or some avocado, and you break the fast that way. Okay, and I'll have that with some avocados in my some avocado in the salad, and then some on my plate, and then I'll have the as you said, your fiber. If I have some cabbage, or if I have some broccoli, and then I'll have a little protein, exactly in that order. Then the protein, so if it's fish or chicken, that's on there, and then the carb, you eat the carb the last. And so instead of your body just getting the spike, bing, you just have the spike. And so instead of your body going through that, now you're already, you've had that. You're cut up the greens, whatever you have there, and then you have your broccoli or your, I love cabbage. So I love the purple cabbage and the green cabbage. And so yes, we're talking about things that's caught on camera. I sometimes videotape it so people can see it. And I leave the carbs for last. So now, how do I do that one? When do I eat again? Like now I may have some tea, and then I noticed I started to crave out of nowhere. I wanted, listen to this, Allison. I wanted some toto. I wanted toto. I wanted some coconut cake, something. I'm like, why am I craving this carb? And I'm like, oh, so instead of me punishing myself from not having it, I tried baking it. Should have just bought it at the store, tried a couple of times, share everybody, and I can have a piece or two or three. Okay. No, but I can have something and then I'm good to go. So, yeah, if you have that meal by 6 p.m., 7, if you push it to 8 o'clock, then definitely nothing after that, because you want to give the body, right? Give the body time to burn all of that. And because the insulin, the sugar, that's all the body is doing, right? So you want to give your body a chance to do that work during the night. And so if you stop eating after 6, 7, 8, and then you don't eat again until 1 or 2 o'clock, you will see you might have had maybe the 16 hours without you even really realizing it. And so, no, I don't get the headaches. I don't get any of that stuff. I'll get the headaches if I eat after that time, because the body just doesn't feel right. But giving my body that opportunity, now somebody say, how long will you do that? It's a lifestyle, right? Because now I'm being more conscious of the types of foods that I'm having. Yes. So I actually will eat, like today. Um, I broke the fast a little bit early, and because I had to go somewhere, so I had a piece of sourdough bread with some squash avocado and 2 eggs. I didn't even need to have the bread, but I said, what the heck not. And so I had the sourdough, the I made the poached eggs. Yeah. And then I had a little tea, or you could have coffee if you want to. So you're eating your food. And then later on, I um I had some fish left over from the day before. So what I really did, so my fast, I broke it around 2:30. So I actually really ate much earlier, and it was okay. But when I came back, I didn't even eat too much. I said, There was some like chicken and a little rice or something like that. But I had already had my meal, so I didn't even have to have anything big. So then I said, oh, if I want some chicken, a little rice and vegetables, I could do that. And I ate it and I'm fine. Right. So that's the thing. We have to be, let me see. Yeah, we have to be conscious of what we are putting into our bodies because we're not getting any younger, right? And I'm just looking at it at what's going to make me feel good, and that's the thing. It really comes down to, yeah, it's a lifestyle, Alison, but it comes down to the quality of life. What is the quality of life? What is it that you want? Do you want to be healthy enough that you can, walk up and down in the mall with your children? And then for me, it's my grandkids. I remember getting down on the floor and then trying to get back up. I was like, oh no, we're not gonna we're not gonna have this. We're not gonna have this happening. I'm not gonna be like, oh God, oh, oh no. And so, it always comes down to that, the quality of life. How do you want to live that life? How do you want to show up? How do you want to feel? Yes, there's the aesthetic, a cosmetic side of it, maybe a little nip and a little tuck here, a little bing, just pull stuff up a little bit, take that and staple this and move that there and just, all sorts of stuff. Surely not getting younger. True, Allison. But yeah, I worked in an urgy center where and this was a while ago, but there were some folks who would come in, and a lot of ladies, after having that divorce, they came and they have some nip and they're tucking. I was like, go ahead, girl, go ahead. You're getting a nip and a tuck. And she was like, our big trip is to Spain or wherever she was going. And yeah, there were people, yes. Listen, there were people who were like, they need a new belly button. And if they can afford it, why not? No judgment here, darlings. I don't know how we got to that. We're talking about lifestyle. We're talking about caring for ourselves and now a new belly button. But yeah, it's just how is it going to make you feel? And that's why I'm not, like I said, I don't have time judging people because if somebody wants to do something that makes them feel good, feel better about themselves, that's all up to them. I have to make the decision that what's going to make me feel good. And also, when you feel a little bit off sometimes too, just go and check out those lab values, see what's going on. All right. Allison said, I want to be able to move up and down independently. Absolutely. As Larry Reed would say, abso-darn-lutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And, it makes you think about life. It makes you think about life itself. For me, it's the quality of life. And while we're here, one thing that I listened to, it said about being in the now, being totally present. Because we can't take any of this stuff with us. All the stuff that we're trying to accumulate. It's not to be reckless, because sometimes life itself can be so much that you're just like, oh, what the heck? Oh, what the heck? But I can't take any of this stuff. So what do I do while I'm here? I want to be able to move up and down independently. Yes, I want to know who I am, whose I am, right? And if every day you get an opportunity to say, you know what, God, you've given me another chance, and here I am one more time in the land of the living, one more time to just breathe and to be able to see and to be clothed in my right mind. It's not just something people say in church, guys. It's the real deal. Thank you for being here. I really, truly appreciate it. And I look forward to connecting even more. And that's what I'm saying. Um, and it, okay. And that's just finished the other one. See, you can do both things at the same time. That's what I want to say. So, yeah, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the people who are out there who are doing amazing things, who are changing the lives of other people, who are showing up in powerful ways. Who, yes, some of it may be caught on camera, but there's nothing wrong with giving because people really truly appreciate transparency. Colaz Smith, once again, to you, big up to you, to the team, and everybody who is given back to the island of Jamaica, who are given back to their loved ones, their families, their friends. And our prayers are huge. It can shift and move the atmosphere. Absolutely believe that and know that we can all make a difference. When it comes to healthcare, guys, we really need to be concerned. And hopefully that changes can be made. Let's be kinder, nicer to each other, but look out for one another and be that advocate. You want to be that advocate for your loved ones and for your family members. All right, everybody, I'm out. It's been good. It's been great. I thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, multitask, Allison, but look how easy that was. Y'all didn't even know. It was a whole nother show that I was doing. All right, everybody. Until next time, take care. Certainly appreciate you for those on the replay. The thumbs up. Think about our membership. Come on over and let's talk some more.